Well, good evening, Star Wars fans. Coming to you with another episode of Holotheatre. Tonight, my co-host is Mr. CRG himself, Matt Lutz.
Good
Tonight,
evening.
we're joined by somebody who I'm sure you all know. I'm sure you all recognize. It is the advocate, the lead advocate of the PC, Mr. Scott Lingrell. How are you doing tonight, Scott?
Doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So we have you on for episode 3 this year. This year. We've had Batmouse on. Now we've had Paul Myers on. Now we come to Scott. Scott was supposed to come on a couple weeks ago for the end of the show. Go over some things. Unfortunately, he had a family emergency. We graciously had Chris Kelly. Yeah, Chris Kelly picked up the slack and came on and received his end of the year or the guest of the year award. So, but we have Scott now, so this is it's gonna be fun. So, Scott, you wanted to come on because you have a few things that you want to tell the viewers, the PC members, the Star Wars community as a whole. Is this correct?
Well, I thought tonight we'd go over all of the kind of year-end awards, all the volunteer awards, all the other awards that we did, Player of the Year and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
thought that would be nice.
so the PC.
So we have an award show tonight then.
Yeah. Except
So-
I forgot my tux at home.
Well, you're wearing something a little bit more appropriate. I mean, you have a sweater on because you're out in Jersey, but I know there's before we started the show, you had a little fun tidbit that you and your wife have.
Yeah, we're not going to go there, though.
We're not going to go there. This is a family show.
Yes.
It's all fair and love,
Well,
Warren,
it's not
between
like that.
consenting adults.
Oh, sorry.
I suddenly realized I think I'm the youngest one here. This makes me sad.
You are the youngest. I'm an old man.
That's fair. But no, we got a little bit of an award show tonight. So Scott, you want to give some details on like where the awards have started and everything? How long we've been doing these type of things?
Yeah, so it's tricky. Sometimes the awards are more of a gut feeling, right? Like with the volunteer awards and things like that. This year we thought about doing like a returning player of the year and a rookie of the year and things like that. And we found that there, other than just using the point system, there really wasn't a good way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can hear me.
I turned up your volume a little louder. It might be the new mic.
I'm going to turn up my volume on my microphone. That should be better.
Is this
Okay,
good?
So that should be better. Better? Let's see. All right. So one of the things that we wanted to do was we wanted to increase how we figure out people should be given awards.
Okay.
So in the past, what we did is we kind of winged it, right?
Yeah.
And let's see here.
Well, I know in the past we actually have a list. If you want to see these, we have a list of awards from a while ago. All those can be found on the PC site. If you just go to the main page, go to About Us, Awards and Hall of Fame, you can see like your past world champions. You can see the Player of the Years. This is one of these things that we're going to go over tonight. As you can see right here, Mr. Joe Olsen was the Player of the Year, so you can see like the Player of the Year, and then you have like Hall of Fame, and down just a little bit lower after we get into detail about each member of the Hall of Fame. Well, we have these volunteer awards. So PC's been doing them since 2013.
Yep.
And they started with Chris Gogolin. Maybe this is why he's in the Hall of Fame. Who knows? But including on that, we have Jeremy Gardner, who worked a lot on the V cards at the start. Tom, what did Tom do? I'm trying to remember.
Tom did a lot.
I know he did a
So
lot.
Tom was
So
responsible for the V kit. Remember, he designed V kit
oh yeah, that's right.
and took it from where Lee did it and then made it onto a website. Do you remember that? So that was a big part of it. And then obviously with the Scomplink, he designed it, and that was a big part of it.
Okay.
Okay, everyone can hear me now, which is always nice. All right.
And
So
then,
yeah, what we did is in the past, I know we've kind of talked about quantifying in the future for
mhm,
returning player, newer return player, or rookie of the year, something like that, because we just couldn't quantify that well enough. So this year we did just as far as a playing um, acumen, I guess, we just did the player of the year with Joe Olson
okay.
because of what he did. And
Yeah.
um,
Well
that was a big
deserved.
part of it, though. Is he played really well? He deserved the award, and it's unlike the MVP voting. It's not the most valuable player; it's player of the year, right? It's
Hmm.
based on points. It's a quantifiable thing.
And this is nice because this is Joe's second time winning this. He won it back in 2015, so I believe he's yeah. It looks like he is the first multiple player of the year winner. No, Justin Desai has won it twice as well. So him and Justin Desai are the only two-time player of the year winners.
Go
So
with my microphone. I'm gonna switch this up because this is
okay, so Scott's having some
We're gonna
audio difficulties, so we'll be right back a little bit with this. But yeah, just again, Joe won Worlds. Worlds had over 100 people in it, so he got a lot of points from that alone. He played. He didn't make the top 8 at Endor, but he still placed really high. I want to see he was like 10 or 11. But he played. He played in the OCS. He played well in the Texas Mini Worlds. So he did rather well this year, as you said.
He did. He did. And I think, one of the nice things is it's not an estimate. It's playing points it's points based on how you did, right?
Mm-hmm.
right.
And that's important.
Okay.
So in the future, though, we do want to find a way to quantify rookie of the year, player of the year, returning player of the year, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we'll work with, listen, we've got goals, and some of the goals are a rating system eventually. I don't know if that's
Mm-hmm.
even possible. And I think part of that would be able to help figure out how people do and
Mm-hmm.
how to quantify that.
Okay. Yeah, and,
Right.
and I think that's what people want to see. Like I know in the old deck tech days for us older people, uh, deck tech ratings were a thing. Like you go to a tournament, and be like, "Oh, I've got this rating," and somebody else would be like, "Well, I got 2 points on you, so clearly I'm the better player."
Yeah. Well, here's what I'll tell you. We've been working with, and Devin has been helping because we have this deck builder program, and it's taken 6 months because of a code issue
Okay.
with how Amazon's web server works with the code that we've been working on.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've been kind of making some headways in the last couple of weeks, and our hope is that eventually we get this figured out.
Okay. Interesting.
So,
So this is
but
another thing
that'll
to.
help.
So this is another thing to look forward for 2021.
Yeah, because I think once we get that, and once we get a rating system, because if you have this deck database and we've got the ability to pull in decks and
Mm-hmm.
use the GEMP data and kind of tie the GEMP wins and losses to the deck builder wins and losses, I think we can then tie in some kind of rating system to help figure things out and kind of tie it all in together.
I think that. Yeah, I like that. That
Interesting.
would be really cool.
Kind of a pipe dream, though, but who the
Interesting.
heck knows, right? That's our goal.
Hey, I've got pipe dreams. My pipe dream is to make a top 8.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Hey, I was close last year.
No, I'm kidding.
Uh,
Listen, you are a good player, and that's
No,
the nice benefit of these groups of players is that usually you'll have people that aren't the norm that will continue and do better, and they'll get to a better spot in the tournament. So it's not always the same 8 people. It's usually the same 6 people and 2 other people.
yeah.
But we need to work on that, right?
That's fair. That's fair.
According to the chat, Mr. Bill Kafer says apparently he is my dream killer. No, my playstyle is my dream killer, Bill. My lack of good plays, my lack of a good teammate. That's what it comes down to. But that's be us. Besides, but yeah. So
You're a better player than your public self-deprecation leads, Dan.
I'm gonna keep.
Hold on. Real quick, I want to say something. I don't have a team anymore because I was kind of like with for a while, Kafer and Shaw and Gogolin would kind of work together, and we made decks. I mean, this is going back 10 years ago, And just because of time constraints and this and that, I don't really have anybody that I can go to about decks. So I kind of go to people and I'll be like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? But unfortunately, nobody really loves me, and I get to do it all on my own. No.
Well,
But
Scott,
I don't have Kafer's 28 billion team, right?
Yeah, unlike somebody who's on our chat.
Hey now.
But no,
But
I mean,
I'm gonna
I
say
go
that-
to like CRG and Hayes, and I'll go to people and push some ideas off of them. And the nice thing is that everyone's always confidential, which is nice.
So I will say this. So before we get off topic, let's move on to the next award that we have to go over.
Yes.
Again, I alluded to this a little bit before. Again, you can see on the PC site. Oh, wrong picture. On the PC site that we've been doing the volunteer awards since 2013.
Yep.
Looks like every year there's only been one.
Well, 2017 we had 3, and one of the reasons we had the 3 is because Jeremy really kind of had stepped up, and he had been doing the PDFs. He had been doing a lot with the website. We had Tom, who kind of took over VKit and made it the beast that it is. And Troy did something called GEMP. I'm not really 100% sure what that is. But essentially the online play that we have done during the entire COVID area. And listen, at the end of the day, we'll have 1 or 2 or 3 really key volunteers. This was different, right? So with everything that happened in COVID and the fact that our game is continuing to grow and technologically we're getting bigger and bigger and bigger, we really had a lot of people step up this last 12 months. And I think it was more than anybody expected. Because when we were starting about, who's the best volunteer, right? And it's like, well, yeah, they really did a great job, but this person also was invaluable, and this person was invaluable, and this person was invaluable. And before we know it, it kind of snowballed, but everybody is deserving. And listen, honestly, there were people that probably helped out with a project here or there, or did that probably deserved these awards as well. That, I'm sure we forgot somebody. But, there are people that helped out throughout the year that did things, right? All the volunteers that are getting the pins and the set V13 pins, they put a lot of work in. So I don't want to say that they didn't deserve it as well, but these are kind of the people that really stood out this year, and we wouldn't be where we are without them.
Yeah, and that's really well said there, Scott. I think these people are going to be excited, not because not only because they won the award and they got recognized, but being that you are part of the group of 2020 winners. As you said, this year could not have been as big of a success as it was without a lot of the work that people did. I mean, like you said, there was people who didn't get, who they're going to get their time. They will get their time because they do so much. So if you've done stuff for the PC and you don't get your recognized, your time's going to come. Just keep doing it. It's not like people don't recognize what you do. So.
And one of the things that we're always trying to do is take care of the volunteers. I know we gave some special foils to the play testers that did the most. We've kind of help people out. We did some T-shirts to some of the key volunteers that have really gone above and beyond this year. We sent them a special T-shirt. So we do some things behind the scenes to really help them know that they're loved and that we care about them. But sometimes, we wish we could do more for everybody, right? We love all our volunteers. That's the whole reason this game is still running, is because of our volunteers. And that's why with this year, we basically said, listen, these are the people that are most deserving. And I think some of them started getting the awards today in UPS. We didn't expect it to get that quick. And I had some people coming to me and going, hey, thanks. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize you'd get them already, right? So I know some of them are still out in the UPS, or they're getting them in the next couple of days. But it's something we're really proud of.
And just for a note, if you have won any award from this year, please send me a picture. We're basically going to be putting these up onto the webpage and onto the forums. So just because we can't actually present the awards to the people, so we're asking to take some pictures with you. Because
Right.
it's always good to see people getting these things.
Right.
Yep.
And it's important to. I'm glad to see the PC's putting these out because it's important to praise people in public and allow people to be recognized for their good work.
Yeah. So I don't know how you want to do this, Dan. If you want to kind of go through each one individually or
Yeah.
what have you, but let's kind of talk through it.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I
let's
do have a
do that and
graphic.
give everyone a little.
And then
Go
Scott,
ahead.
I got a graphic that I'm going to show for the winners, and I believe there's
Okay.
9 of them. And then if you want to go through and say like what they did to earn that. Okay.
Yeah, so we could kind of start with the least most valuable, which
So-
is no. So here's the thing, let's kind of talk about the Adam. So Adam essentially heads up our proofing team, and that's essentially what he did for a very long time. He's done that, and he really kind of took on helping with GEMP. And for example, whether it's tractor beams, whether it's really coming on and helping Jeremy do the GEMP stuff, he's really been fantastic. And he's the reason that you now get more detailed win-loss information on GEMP. He's the reason that for design and development can pull all the data that we would possibly need for deck matchups. He has really just been fantastic, and that's why he got an award, obviously. We're looking at Jeremy, right? Jeremy DePaulo. So Jeremy is the person responsible for coding all the GEMP playtesting.
Yeah.
He's the one that puts all the cards in there. He's really stepped up to working with that. And listen, there's other people on these teams that have helped as well. But Jeremy is single-handedly. He was throwing in all the playtesting cards, coding them all, making sure they worked, updating them, and that's just been fantastic. And he's the reason that GEMP in the last year, in the beginning of the year, was really, really getting those games. Is because in playtesting, we had more playtesting games in probably the last 2 sets than we did in the entire history of Decipher and our playtesting. So he's been fantastic. Then we look at you, Dan. Dan, you're getting one. And one of the reasons we did that is because you've been carrying this show and really been there to make sure that people see what's going on. They hear about things. And really just, listen, at the end of the day, you're doing also the commentary. You'll do 12 hours of commentary, 16 hours of commentary, and then you're doing the show over and over again. And you're just invaluable. And plus, when we need banners and stuff, when we thought we'd be having events, right? You were able to get those for us. So again, we thank you. And then when we look at the tournament committee, right? So Bill Kafer has really stepped up and helped put together, last year and this year, what we're doing as far as, hey, let's have this event, let's have that event, let's schedule it for these times. Bill has been really fantastic in kind of helping to keep the tournament committee team going, really being a good support person for Chris Schoenthal. And we can't say enough about what he's been doing and continuing to do. For Ming, Ming is kind of, he's really been kind of helping the last, let's say, 6 months. We really asked him to come aboard and help us with all the set pins. So when we look at the pins, and I've got them over there, we got the Worlds pin, we got the V13 pin, we've got the OCS pin, which I believe was the first pin he designed, the Texas Mini Worlds one. Ming has been invaluable in now working on the graphics design team in the last, let's say 6 months, and putting these ideas together. I know he's in the middle of working on a new logo for the Outrider Cup, because we're getting some hooded sweatshirts together for the winners. So that's going to be something we're going to do in the future as well. And Ming is the one responsible for those icons and those graphics. I'm really thankful for him.
And they're gorgeous.
They're fantastic. Jared, is interesting. Jared has taken our social media from where it was to just an absolute monster growth. And we're getting shares and likes, and people are responding, and people are coming to the game and interacting with us. I know we have a player, a longtime player, that said, listen, you guys are killing it. and he's the reason. And then also behind the scenes, a lot of people don't realize this, but I rely on Jared to kind of help me with a lot of feedback on things. He's kind of I guess my right hand man in a way. So he's been fantastic in really being there for me, and I can't thank him enough. We look at Devin. Devin is the sole reason that this website is where it is. So about a year ago, we had some problems with the site. In fact, I got the bill today for one of our back end systems that we paid for. I got the renewal today. So about a year ago, about maybe 15 months ago, he was able to get us moved to AWS, right? And our site is so much better. It runs better, and we're integrating better. We're doing more the news updates, the social media that we incorporate into the main page and stuff. And there's plenty more, as well as Devin helping to coordinate with the people doing code to say, hey, let's get this working. Let's get this working. He's doing it all the time. So we can't thank him enough. One quick example is when we had people that would stream and do Twitch shows or the streaming for the events. Devin was able to set it up so we had a place for them to upload their videos. So
okay.
We can't thank him enough. In fact, there was a guy that just he's typing up all the deck lists, and we're working with Devin to upload them all in text files. So, and then we look at Anthony Howard, right? So GEMP is growing. You have Adam and Jeremy that are helping to grow GEMP. And it's like, well, how do we make sure there's enough events? How do we make sure there's enough for people to do on GEMP? And Anthony is there to essentially make sure there's always leagues. He's there to communicate with the players. You listen, we could not have a smooth running GEMP without him. And he's the reason that, they're putting it there, but Anthony needs to be able to set up the events. He needs to be able to run the leagues.
Yeah.
He needs to be there as a resource for everybody, and you can't thank him enough for that. And the other thing is Hayes. So with Hayes Hunter, right, we're doing all these playtesting games. We're doing all these playtesting events. Well, he's there to kind of coordinate and make sure that people are submitting it, making sure that anything that is needed, he's really there to oversee the playtesting team. So he's done a fantastic job, especially, they're playing 10 times the games they used to. You can't oversee that. So he's able to take that information, provide some feedback, and that's really, a fantastic thing. So these guys, listen, they all deserve it. They have done just a great job, and we wouldn't be where we were without all of them.
Yeah.
Well said, Scott. I agree with all those.
Yeah.
And I thank everyone who's just mentioned for playing a large role and showing up and helping with the game. Greatly appreciated.
Absolutely. And, Hayes says he's going to break up his trophy and mail them out. Thank you, Hayes. But all the play testers are getting a pin. And, we'll take care of all the play testers, too. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Moving on, though.
We didn't just pick 3 or 1. Yeah, they were all very good. So, listen, I'm excited to see where this next year comes.
Same. Especially, I'm hoping we get to have live events soon. Don't get me wrong, GEMP's great and all, but there's nothing that beats a live event. But that's not all that we want to talk about tonight, though, Scott, with our little bit of an award show. You got I think you have 4 more people. I only got one. I got one slide that shows those 4 people.
Yep.
But I think, you know what? Let's talk about the first 2 with the content creators of the year.
Yeah, so one of the things that we've done, and Chris Goglin really started this originally with his show, his GEMP show, where he would basically give feedback on games. And so we decided to do kind of a content creator of the year. And unfortunately, we didn't do it last year, right? And I think everybody agrees Chris would have gotten that for 2019 without question.
And
so, no, I know. Listen,
Holotheatre.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's the thing is, I apologize. You and Chris would have both gotten it. Let's rephrase it. And Jerry and Chris.
Yeah,
absolutely, without question. So, so here's the thing. So Kendall started the bad deck breakdown. No.
Yeah.
What was it?
That's
so I guess Kendall had the idea, and I guess he worked with Matt to kind of put together this this bad deck breakdown, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Wait, who's Matt?
That's what
Which
it's
Matt?
called.
We got too many Matts. Which Matt are you talking about?
That's me. That's this guy.
Really?
Matt Lutz.
It's you?
No. So here's the thing with Matt Lutz and Kendall, and I was on the show a couple of times. It's great that they'll do an audio podcast,
Yeah.
going through someone's deck and talking about maybe the best way to play it, but it's not your typical mainstream decks, right? And that's what we love about it. And that show has been fantastic. They've done a great job together, and these two, it couldn't have been. It couldn't have been where it is without both of them being involved, and we're very thankful about that.
Yeah, and Kendall and Matt, you guys put on a great show. Like I've listened to it a few times, especially when I'm driving, and it just keeps me entertained. I can't wait for you guys to bring one of my decks on at some point. I'd love to.
We'd be happy to have you on as a guest. You just gotta send us a deck and then be able to tell us why it's bad.
Oh, believe me, all my decks are bad. But no, yeah, it's great. And I mean, I know we were joking earlier, but no, you guys making your show, it's just, it's what else can I say that's already been said?
It's fantastic.
Thanks much, guys.
And then the other thing we were really looking at is that people are doing things that are not from an audio standpoint, right? They're not doing a show, they're not doing Twitch, and that would be kind of the resources out there. And so we really had two co-resources, one of which was the collecting encyclopedia. I believe Kevin was on the show a number of months ago.
Yeah.
And Kevin basically came to me and Chris Kelly a few months back and said, listen, I've been working on this. I would love to be able to get the support and release it, because he was doing it, I believe, as kind of a project, just because he thought it would be awesome. We were like, we're going to get behind this. We're going to scan the extra stuff you need. We're going to work, and we're just going to put it out, and we're going to absolutely do whatever we can. So, Kevin, with that collecting encyclopedia, he was essentially 98% of it. We were just there to kind of, give him the blessing and help with 5 things probably. And then we had, the Comlink app, right? That came out of the blue, and we've talked about it a couple times. And, Scott created that app. He put it on the Google Play Store, and that thing is invaluable as well. And listen, I can't believe, these are people just coming up and saying, hey, I want to do this. Can I do this? And we're like, absolutely. So we get messages like this all the time. I mean, this is how GEMP was started. This is how Holotheatre was started. This is how, the bad deck breakdown was started. So it's awesome to see. I can't say it's a tongue twister.
Bad deck.
Awesome. Bad deck breakdown.
There you go.
I'm sorry. I came up with the name, so I'll take the lumps on that one.
The alliteration.
Why don't you call it, for short, BB7?
No.
BB4?
No.
BB8.
No, not BB8. BB8's overused.
We're well over 8 episodes anyways, so.
Yeah. BD. Thanks, Kendall.
BBD.
So, one thing I will say is, these guys deserve what they got. And we look forward to seeing what else is out there, right? I'm hoping to see the deck maker out there next year. I'm hoping to see what else our community has in store, right? I think the early contest is for the new version of GEMP. That's a pretty dang good resource. So we'll see what else the community has involved. I mean, who knows where this is going to go? Yeah.
Speaking of Eric, he's done so much recently. There's the new interface, something else that he's working on. I don't know if we want to, what? I'm not going to spoil it, but
yeah, we won't spoil it.
We're not going to spoil it, but he's working on something right now that actually the Alderaan league that's in SoCal, we're actually testing it out for him. So, yeah, look for exciting things on GEMP. This one's really fun. I love it.
Well, I'm also excited, Cube, because of Adam, right? We got Cube.
Yeah, we got the
Cube.
Because
I said to Adam a couple months ago, I said, one of the things I'd love to have is a Cube built into there. And the other thing is, right, so we just recently, I'll kind of talk about, it's kind of spoiler for 2022, but look at the Cube and where that's going. And they just updated it, and now working with the Cube, I'm expecting, honestly, we're probably going to have a volunteer award for Seth, because you know, 2022 is really about the cube. I mean, it's now in GEMP. We're able to utilize it in a great way.
2022 or 2021?
Oh, 2021. I'm sorry. Yeah, wrong year.
You're good.
That's
You're
okay.
good.
So I know that, you know,
It's still
Seth,
January. You can mess up the year.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to, you know, Seth has been constantly updating the cube, and now that we have the cube in GEMP, it allows there to be that flow and that they're able to use it and update it, and it's going to get a lot of play. I'm excited. I've been playing it a bunch myself.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But yeah, again, congrats to everybody who participated. Thank you to everybody who did whatever you did, even if you didn't win something. Thanks. Last year was amazing. I know it was rough because we only had one live event and everything, but the community came together, did so much, made GEMP what it is right now, made Holotheatre what it is right now. Like, yeah, I'm on every week, but people who give up their Wednesday nights, especially the East Coast guys who are sitting there at 9 p.m. right now on a Wednesday, having me interview them about a game that has been gone for 19 years. So, yeah, thanks to everybody again. This community is great. I love it.
Thanks, Dan.
But before we go into Sappy Land and get a little bit even more emotional than we already am, or at least I am, let's talk about some swing and a miss questions. Actually, no. Before we go into swing and a miss, I'm sorry. Just want to go over currently what's going on right now is the GEM PC, Batmouse's GEM PC. We have a few games that have already finished, a few matches that have already finished and have advanced into the next round, the round of 32. As you can see, like if you just go over to the bracket, you can check them out. One of the biggest ones, though, was right here. Drew, the 4 seed, lost to Chris Westergaard. Drew was kind enough to actually supply us with links to those games. If you haven't seen it, I would at least check out his. I actually have the links right here. If you want them, let me know. We can go ahead and post them. But what was interesting about this one was it was a Legend versus Shadow Collective, and Yodad, Mr. Westergaard, has been working on this Shadow Collective deck for a while. So it's kind of interesting because, well, one is Shadow Collective, and two, our deck building challenge for January is Shadow Collective. So just saying.
There we go.
I think
Dan,
my favorite part.
Playing...
Go on, Drew, or Chris. Matt.
Wow.
Mm.
I keep saying CRG. I always want to say Chris for some reason. Go on, Matt.
That's fine. Dan,
I know your
are you
name.
playing it? And who? No, you do. Dan, are you playing it? And who's your round one opponent?
So just scrolling down here into the Chris Goglin bracket. I am
Drew
playing.
died for this segment.
I will be playing Mr. Daniel Amar. We've already played one game. I actually won that game by 2 cards. It was a Bespin CRV to QMC. I'm going to say this. I will never forget about limited resources again.
Yeah.
But
there you go.
we know that Bill Kafer advanced over Brad Iyer. Both of them are in the chat right now, so they're playing.
So can I tell you real quick about my
Please.
favorite card? Oh, I'm sorry. I cut you off. Go on.
I was going to say, yeah, and I think it has to do something with the Shadow Collective deck. Is this correct?
Yeah. So I guess the idea is you capture people,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can forfeit them with Human Shield.
There you go.
But
And
you
I was gonna
play
say-
all wrapped up. So if they battle you and they forfeit first, you then capture the guy, and then you can forfeit him in the same battle.
Mm-hmm. Now, it is a loss interrupt, but I mean, it's a loss interrupt that has a useful game text, and we saw that again in Drew's match versus Yodad. Actually, I can bring up the card right now. So if you want to just.
That used to be not Human Shield is only a recently coded card. It was one of those that came out of the GEMP. I think the old GEMP requests
It is
extensive thread.
overpowered.
I wouldn't say it's overpowered, but again, if you read here in the law section, that's what really comes into play. So as Scott said, the tech is to play all wrapped up, capture them, and then sacrifice with Human Shield. Well, I want to say Drew had that happen to him 3 times in the game, and twice were to Jotocast. So Jotocast, as Jared Napolitano said to me the other day, you can't be stopped. You can only hope to contain him.
Matt Curley would be very proud. He's a big fan of that card.
And I like the... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and that's, who played that character there, right?
That's what I was going to bring up.
Jeremy Bullock.
Yeah. Mr. Boba Fett himself, who unfortunately passed away last year. I will say I had the chance of meeting him at a convention. One of the nicest guys. Like, I actually got to stand there and talk to him for a good 5-10 minutes and just talk to him about playing as Boba Fett. And I was like, well, how did it feel to play as Lieutenant Shekiel? And he was like, how did you know that? I go, I play this old game called Star Wars CCG.
Hey, can you bring that card back up real quick? Matt, how do you think this will do in like something that retrieves? So like CCT, you retrieve it in your control phase, get it back. Do you see yourself abusing this somehow?
I think it might be a meta call in a deck like CCT where you can run a whole bunch of one-ofs like that or Voyeur. We did do a bad deck breakdowns episode early in the show. That was like a Bespin or a Dark Deal capture deck, and we did it before I think Human Shield was coded, and so that's kind of how I would think to try to abuse it and play something off the wall and off meta.
Yeah, maybe try it for the 100th episode. Revisit the old deck.
Because now I want to say, is there a deck that all wrapped up can be started in? It's the steel's getting worse all the time.
Because you start it automatically.
Yeah,
or you can with the objective.
Yeah, it lets you start.
So that's why we went
secret plans in that, right?
Well, you can start secret plans or all wrapped up. Or actually, I think you can do both.
You can start both. So right now, like with the new SSA V interrupt, you could start 5 effects on the table, and 2 locations.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. I do like the idea in like a CCT where you can just keep replaying it again. But all wings are all wrapped up is such a good card on the table to start with, and the fact that you can, like we saw Mr. Westergaard do against Drew, just keeps losing your opponent's character. Like I want to say he captured Rey with lightsaber twice and used it on her twice. So
there you go.
Yeah,
so
that was
really cool.
Yeah, and I agree. So and again, this month's deck building challenge, like I said earlier.
Wait a minute, real quick. Hayes had a great idea using Human Shield in Bring Him Before Me. Because you capture Luke and then you ditch him.
Yeah, and that's Eric.
Right.
That's Eric.
Oh, it's Hayes. Eric. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that, Eric. You're not that creative.
It's a nice fat forfeit as long as you can. Yeah, that's a nice fat forfeit as long as you can keep Vader protected from getting hit by something.
Oh,
and I'll give him back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes to the lost deploying from lost pile, and then he's going to be captured by Vader again.
All right, I love this idea.
Oh God,
sorry
Scott,
about that, Dan.
Here we go. Scott's going to make it. But yeah, let's go into so. Not only do we have the game PC going on, but signups for the OCS are still going on. If you're interested in looking at those, just go onto the website. It's $10 a month, $50 for the year. Currently, we have 31 players who've signed up for the year. I see a Mr. Matthew Lutz. I see myself, and I see Scotland Grell. So all 3 of us are signed up. I don't see Justin Desai, so Justin hasn't signed up yet. That makes me sad. But
We'll get some more folks on
I
there.
will say this. Interesting enough, Mr. Matt Sperling, one of our Magic pros, he signed up.
There you
So
go.
that's a
Good
good
for
one.
him.
So maybe he'll convince. And if you want to play against the world champ, well, Joe Wilson signed up as well. And our second place player is signed up. So yeah, OCS starts soon. I want to say it starts in a little under 2 weeks from now.
I'm excited.
Yep. Go play it. Keep you sharp for the majors we're going to have this year.
Well, you want to just keep you sharp for the majors, but we actually have a Jawa event coming on, ran by Mr. Kendall Holloman. I'm going to plug it this week because it does start on February 1st. The event is called Jawas in Love. Interesting enough. I like how it does end. It will be ending on Valentine's Day, so if you're lonely and single like me, you could play in this Jawa event. And so it will. There is a ban list. The ban list is Hitco, Legend, No Idea, Walkling, and Rescue in the Clouds, Hunt Down V, ISB, CCT, and Force Push. But yeah, and from what I can tell, this is a free event with a suggested donation to pay for the gift card. Kendall will be the winner who will receive a gift card for 2. So that way they are. So again, Jawa in Love. I get it. But yeah, this event is going to start next week. So, or actually in, a little over
12 days.
12 days from now.
Yep.
And
I think this will be the first event with the new Jawa format after the Jawa Council got together and made the changes.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And if you don't have a significant other, you can always eat twice as much. That's okay.
That's what I'm going to do. I got my inner fat kid going.
Hey now.
But okay, I think it's time we go into swing and a miss. This way we get off these sensitive subjects again.
Yes.
So for our first swing and a miss question, let's go back to talking about. I'm pouring the salt on Drew. I'm sorry, Drew, but Chris Westergaard's upset over Drew and again PC will be the biggest upset of the event.
Obviously, Chris is a good player. But
yes.
I can't. I mean, that's it. Listen. Drew privately was telling me there was no way he was going to lose to Chris. No, I'm kidding. No, in all honesty, I'm curious. I do not. I think it's a miss. I think Chris is a good player. He was.
Well, I'm saying. Is there going to be a bigger upset than this one?
Oh, from the rating. I'm sorry. No. I'm gonna agree.
I will take a miss because I'll take the field versus this matchup.
So
get 63 matches to play.
So Scott is saying hit, that this is going to be the biggest one. Matt is saying miss. I'm going to go with miss because after I beat Mr. Daniel Amar, I hope, Chris Goglin's going down. Chris Goglin.
I wish you the best of luck.
Me too. My only goal was to get out of the first round, but if I take down Chris Goglin, well, first I'll get I will say this: if I beat Chris Goglin, I know Paul Myers said it last week. He's going to basically come on here and say he was wrongfully doubted me in every aspect. So, just saying.
I think you got it.
I know what Chris plays, so. But moving on to question number 2. Shadow Collective is a good option against Legend.
I would say that's a hit because of the redrawing, so they have to be very careful about when to use Maul.
Yeah.
Right.
I
think the Maul preventing redraws or cancellations.
Oh, you can't even do it.
Yeah.
Right, can't even do it at all.
Yeah, so as long as Maul's out.
Yeah,
that's a very good. Yeah, it's definitely a hit then.
Yeah. I'm going to say miss, and the reason is Shadow Collective doesn't run a lot of space. So if the light cycle player can get to space, they can still do the drain of 2, maybe 3 at Jakku. It's going to be hard for the dark side player to retain resistance the entire game. Yes, you don't have the redraw ability, but your characters are a little bit better. I think Chris got lucky. I'm not saying he got lucky because he won against Drew. I think, and I don't know what happened in game 1. I didn't watch that one, but I know Chris won. So him going into the second game knowing he won that game is always an advantage. So, and I think just the resilience of Legend is good. And Maul's not defenseless. I mean, you could just drop down to Ezra there and say, I'm bringing the house.
So I'm curious
Maul's
how the
not
meta
defenseless,
is
but it's hard to handle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm curious how the meta is going to adjust. I remember back in the day when the 3-2 deck was popular, it never ran space. And then I remember in the NPC one year, Chris Terwilliger floated the Falcon, Han, and Chewie.
Yep.
And beat somebody because he didn't expect there to be any space, and he just dropped it. So I'm expecting there's going to be a change, that somebody's going to go to space with just a small token force, if anything, and they're going to get destroyed in a matchup.
Yeah, and I can see that. I can see that. I mean, I can see that. I know if you watch the game on Monday where Chris Coughlin streamed, it was actually my game versus Daniel Omar. It's my QMC versus his Bestman CRV. Well, 1, I know what he played for Worlds, and 2, I got a few verifies. He didn't have any characters to come down on the ground. So I'm completely spread out on Cloud City. So once you get that little bit of information, if your opponent's not running space or has which direction they're if they're not running the either or, you have such a clear advantage.
Right.
But okay, moving on to question 3. So this is going to be an over or under. There will be 84.5 people who purchase an OCS season pass. Do the over.
And you
do
said
the
what?
84.5. Over or under.
Right. So you said there's 31 or so currently purchased with 12 days to go before the start?
Yep.
I'm going to take the under on that. I think even with the changes, we'll get a lot. We'll probably get into the 70s, but 84.5 or so is a big number. Hope you guys prove me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over. I think it's going to be over that number.
I'm going to go under. I hope I'm wrong. We according to Jared Napolitano, we had 74 last year. Give me 1 second. I had a little bit of technical difficulties with my Discord.
Yeah, I think it'll be
season pass, not
passes. Maybe not, because I think some people will. Yeah, I'll go under because I think there are people that do 1 month here, 1 month there. I think that's a good number. I think under is fine. I'll agree.
I'm gonna stick with the under as well. Yeah, we had 74 last year. We only have 31. I am expecting a lot more people to come on and sign up, like you said, Matt. I almost called you Drew, but I don't think we're gonna get to the 84.5.
No, I would expect that to be under.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
And so for our last question of the night,
it's a hit.
I will advance over Daniel Amar.
It's a hit.
We play tomorrow. I like how Matt is just saying, it's a hit, it's a hit, it's a hit. So
I think Dan is going to win.
You won game 1 + 2?
+2.
Someone named Dan is going to win that.
Wow. So democratic there, Scott.
No, Heisenberg kicked my butt the other day. We played a game. He destroyed me.
I've been watching a lot of his games. So I will say this. If anybody wants to help me test a deck after this show, please get on. I need it.
There you go.
I feel bad for the guy playing me, to be honest.
So do I. Believe me, so do I.
I was playing musicians today and beat Kyle with musicians, so that was fun. Paying 7 to deploy to a site and then paying an extra 7 to battle is not a fun thing.
No. It is not.
And,
But
and he was like, "How much? Why did it cost so much?" And I was like, "If you have to ask,
Caskets. You have
it's
to
the
ask.
cover
It's too
charge,
much.
right?"
it is.
Yeah.
Cover charge.
Okay, so just to remind everybody really quick, this month's deck building challenge is to see who can hit the most players or the most characters with blasters in a Shadow Collective deck. Maybe I'll enter Chris Westergaard because he shot down a lot of Drew's characters before Drew conceded. So, but if you go on to the forums and want to check out it, I don't believe we have. We have one so far, Mr. Solid Snake. He has entered. You can actually check out his deck right here. Oh, looks like he is using the Human Shield in his deck. So, interesting enough. Yep. Other than that, we really haven't seen any other ones enter. So, it looks like Mr. Solid Snake might not have any challengers for this one. But again, that is our deck building challenge for this month. I love it when we get a subscriber because there's Mr. Hayes.
There we go.
Nice.
But okay, and we got one more thing to do tonight before we end. Are you ready? Are you ready, Scott?
I am.
Have you been looking at your lore?
No, I haven't.
Oh no! Here we go. It is the lore challenge. This one might be easy. Okay, I might have pandered to you a little bit, but here we go.
If it has the numbers 3,720 to 1, that might make it easier.
So,
okay.
No, it doesn't. It's a tie L end assigned to pilot name. I took out the name because reasons. Has 27 flames on cockpit, 1 for each rebel kill. Control yoke has a holo of Mythal's young son. I'm not even going to try that.
Oh, wow. So it's a tie LN.
I think I know what this one is.
Black 3.
Matt, what's your guess?
It's one of them. It's. I think it's black 2. One of the black 1, 2, or 3s. I think it's 2.
Black 2.
There we go. I only know this because I only know this because the black 2 is in the sample deck that Walseth put together.
Yep. And the funny thing is, I believe, Scott, you ran black 2 in your most recent deck for Worlds.
Yeah, I did. And I didn't even think about it. I haven't played that deck in like months.
So
good job, Dan.
Good. Thank you.
That was really good. For a minute there, I thought it was going to be Saber 1 because I know he has the red stripe, which has to deal with a number of kills.
That's the Carillion Bloodstripe.
Yeah, and then there's Wedge that has the Death Star and ties on his.
Yeah.
Right.
Should mix it. Oh, we have done the spelling challenge. I'm not going to do that. I like the lore challenge better.
Lore's easier.
Fellow musician
Lore's
name.
is
I know
easier.
Lear and Karen. That's about it. Dodo Bondoito? Couldn't tell you. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. Good luck. No. Mm-mm. So, oh God.
With Ron
We actually have done that one. We actually did that one.
That one is spelled Tomhaid, as far as I'm concerned.
You know, real quick before I forget, I do want to, listen, I want to thank Seth for the cube. I want to thank Robbie helped me. I remember when we were doing the events and I called him because I was like, hey, I don't know how to get on my computer to get this set up. There are people every day that are helping our community. And I really appreciate you bringing me back on here because
we always love having you
awesome.
on. And I like how you are my substitute host. You've done the hosting duties, I want to say twice when I was out of town, or at least once. I know you interviewed Paul Myers the first time, so that was always fun.
Yeah.
But
one other thing, final, I want to make a note on, if we could, about Tim Simon. So Tim Simon, who has been our rules advocate for a number of years, his family has expanded.
Yeah.
And he has passed on to the other side as a player from now on, and he is no longer going to be the rules advocate. You know, he's looking forward to playing. I was joking with him about you know, he's immediately going to get better now that he doesn't have to be an advocate anymore.
He's not lying.
No, but listen, you know, we can't thank Tim enough. In fact,
Yeah.
Tim at one point while he wasn't an advocate, we actually gave him a volunteer award.
Yeah.
And then he came back in as the rules advocate again, and he's done an awesome job. And part of the reason that you know, he's done a great job is because he obviously has a good team behind him, and we'll announce, you know, some changes to that next episode probably. But it's nice that the new advanced rulebook just came out, 3.27. I don't know if you get that meaning as a Star Wars fan, but I just really wanted to thank Tim for everything, because you know, this game would not be in where it is today without him.
Hey, Scott, before you go, let me. What's the reference for the people who don't understand it?
What reference?
The 3.27.
Oh, that's docking bay 327. That's one of the Death Star docking bays.
I'm smiling and laughing, but at the same time, I'm just like, God, what?
Why do we know this?
Yeah.
I hope I got it right.
You did.
Also,
and don't feel bad. I only have like one space in my brain for one, you know, fictional universe, and this is what I have chosen.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was going to say, what'd you go with? Star Trek?
No.
It's like the casual fan I love the thing when the casual fan comes up to you and you're like, hey, did you know that, you know, whatever, they just give you a fact, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know that the barkeeper's name was Wooher. Thank you.
You know what? I'm going to say this. This is probably the nerdiest thing I'm going to say on the show. I have won multiple Star Wars trivia contests just because of cards from this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all, I mean, we know too much now because of it, because we had nothing to do and we looked at these cards every day.
Right.
For your lore challenge.
Still do.
You know, maybe if you looked at them some more, Scott, you would get a lore challenge.
Hey now.
Yeah.
No, you do too much as it is. But you know what? I think that's going to be it for tonight. I'm going to thank my co-host, Mr. Matt Lutz, Content Creator of the Year, Co-Content Creator of the Year.
Yep.
I also want to thank my special guest, as always, Mr. Scotland Grill, the advocate himself.
Thank you.
So next week, Mr. Kendall Hallman will be on to discuss his Jawa format. We'll go over the Jawa, what he has in store for that tournament. Again, it is the first tournament that is going to be able to use the new Jawa decks, essentially. So Kendall will be on. And as for a co-host, we'll work on that and get back to you this week. So again, this is Holotheatre. I do have one other thing to say. If you're one of these people, I know who you are. You've picked against me. You make me sad. On that note, though, good night, everybody.
Thanks,
Good night.
everyone.